Good morning, good morning. It is August 15th, Tuesday morning, and I'm back here with another word of the day. It's your boy Danny Graham. I'm no longer Comment Chat. Just briefly tell you, I've rebranded my whole channel. It's no longer Comment Chat. It is The Road to Wisdom. That is the new channel name, The Road to Wisdom. And I am here, as always, with the word of the day, the quote of the day, and the scripture of the day. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. As you can see right here, the word of the day is confidence. Confidence. Let's go ahead and get into it. The definition of confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something with firm trust. Let me say that one more time. The definition of confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something with firm trust. The scripture about confidence comes from the book of Jeremiah. Aren't you surprised? Usually Proverbs, but this morning it is Jeremiah. It is the 17th chapter, the 7th through the 8th verse, and it reads as follows. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord and whose is the Lord. For he will be like a tree planted by water that extends its roots by a stream and will not fear when the heat comes. See that scripture one more time. It comes from the book of Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, the 7th and 8th verse. And it says, Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord and whose is the Lord. For he will be like a tree planted by water that extends its roots by a stream and will not fear when the heat comes. So, that's really confident. When it's hot as it is here in South Carolina, man, I think my wife said the heat index today was 103 degrees. But you're so confident because you're planted by the water. God is blessing you. Your roots run into that stream. So no matter how hot it comes out, your leaves are not going to wilt because God has planted you in a secure place. Planted you, you got plenty of water, plenty of nourishment, plenty of hydration, and you are just chilling and cooling while everybody else is burning and fanning and looking for air conditioning, but you're planted. Confidence. Definitely love that scripture. And the quote for confidence is a habit that can be developed by acting as if you already had the confidence you desire to have. That is a Dannyism. Going to be on a t-shirt one day. Let me say that one more time. The confidence quote is confidence is a habit that can be developed by acting as if you already had the confidence you desire to have. So if you think it, so shall it be. I like that. So if I'm thinking I'm already confident, I'm going to do that habit. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be confident. But I'm going to discuss today. I'm going to start off discussing today between confidence, and cockiness. A lot of times those can be kind of confused and kind of intermingle, and sometimes people come off as confident, and sometimes people come as cocky. I guess it depends on the character. Like I threw that in. Yesterday's word was character. It depends on the character of the person. Positive character, then it's probably going to be confidence. Negative character, it's probably going to be cockiness. But let's go ahead and dive into this a little bit, get into the meat and potatoes of this. One thing, if you're confident, is a growth in your mindset. Your mindset is always growing, always developing, trying to be better, trying to do what it takes to be better. That is a sign of confidence. A sign of cockiness is a mixed mindset. You rely on your natural ability. You don't like to study a lot, God given talent, and you don't have a pretty strong work ethic. You got some, or you got, but things come to you naturally. You don't put in the work. That's time you can develop and lean towards cockiness other than confident because I can already do this, man. I was born to do this. I was born to throw the baseball 150 miles an hour, or I can jump from the free throw line like Jordan, or I can hit a home run like Babe Ruth, or I can preach like T.D. Jakes, or I can do this, I can do that. That is cockiness. There was a time when they said John McEnroe played tennis. He didn't like to practice. He was naturally this good and gifted, didn't practice as much as others, and he was very cocky. If you go back and watch a lot of his games, he would fuss. I mean, just go off on the referee, on the umpires. It was just crazy, and a lot of it was cockiness because he thought that if he didn't have to practice and that he was just naturally good and that the ball was in when they said it was out, the ball was out and they said it was in. And if you go back and look at some, especially when he was playing Borg, he played Borg for the first time. he actually calmed down from that cockiness, and was more relying on confidence. He kept his cool. That first game is like it's historical, man. I watched the movie with Borg versus McEnroe, and it was awesome, awesome movie. Shia LaBeouf should have got the award, the Academy Award that year. But cockiness, you see it all the time, especially in sports. You see it too in the workplace. Some preachers can be confident, some can be cocky because they can just read the Bible one time and absorb it or whatever, or they can just spit out scriptures like this. But sometimes their doctrine or what they're spitting out can be a little tainted because some preachers I just heard today, and my father talks about this. They want to preach on things that's not going to upset people. They want to preach on things that's always good. The Bible, there's good and bad. There's as much as good in the Bible, there's as much as bad. And if you're a preacher, you have to cover the whole spectrum. You just can't stay in one lane of the spectrum. You got to cover the whole thing so your congregation get the whole meat and potatoes of it, the whole kit and caboodle, so to speak. You just can't preach that one thing that's going to keep bringing people back. Oh, Reverend Graham, boy, he was good, and he preached about this and this. There's some evangelists that people say preach about this prosperity. Never preach about or teach about the bad aspects of the trials and tribulations that you go through. They always talk about prosperity and the good things. But there's bad as well as good. There's different kind of seasons. My grandson made a comment today. He's like, Grampy, summer is always the hottest part. I said, yeah, summer is the hottest season traditionally out of all 4 seasons. Summer is hot, winter is cold, fall is a little cool, and so spring can be cool or warm. But generally, from June, July, and August into September, it's hot. So he was correct. Another point about confidence versus cockiness. A confident person focuses on the process. They know what they need to do. They research it. They do their due diligence, and they focus on that process to get better. A cocky person mainly just focuses on the outcome. I don't worry about the small details. The small details, you handle that. I just want to win, or I just want to make sure I get this congregation. I just want to make sure I make enough money to get this car. I just want to make sure I got the big fancy house. I just want to make sure I get the promotion. They don't worry about doing the work, or the process that it takes. They just want the outcome. They want the stats. They want to win. They don't worry about what it takes to get to that point. The little things. They want to just rush through the little things. Just worry about the outcome. Yeah, if I do this, this, and this, I got it. I'm naturally skilled. I can do this, or I got it. I know that test backwards and forward, or I know this, I know that, or don't worry about that. I'm going to get it because I'm just that good. That's cockiness, not confidence, but cockiness. Another difference between someone with confidence and cockiness is the confident person finds a way to do something. They will find a way to win. They will find a way to get the problem solved. They will find a way to get the mission done. They will find a way. They are resilient. They are adaptable. A cocky person always finds an excuse. If things don't go their way, it wasn't my fault. Such and such. Danny did it. I told Danny to do such and such. He didn't do it. Or I don't know why. If it was basketball, they wouldn't pass me the ball. They wouldn't pass me the ball. Or receiver. Quarterback wouldn't throw me the ball, man. How many times we've seen quarterbacks in football games? You're a football fan like I am. And they wouldn't throw me the ball. They wouldn't throw me the ball. Clemson Carolina games you see all the time. Man, if Carolina would have done this. Man, if Clemson would have done that. Man, Dabo Swinney should have done this. Man, whatever. The coach of Carolina should have done this. Always, the cocky person or the cocky fan always has an excuse. Confident person, hey, look, yeah, y'all got the best of us this year, maybe next year. Dallas fans do that a lot. They are a mixture of cockiness and confidence. They're delusional too. I'm going to go in on that a little bit. Dallas Cowboy fans, that's you, Jamie Cooper. Man, they always, I give them now, they got a tight fan base. They are the richest team in the world, franchise in the world. I give you all that, but they ain't smell a Super Bowl in 25 going on 26 years. I was a young man back then since last time they've been there. But every year they go into the Super Bowl. I guess it's confidence and cockiness. I don't know what it is. I think it's craziness. Craziness plus confidence equals more craziness. But whatever it is, whatever category you want to lump that in, it's a little bit of cockiness, a little bit of confidence. I guess they get confidence in their ability. But We shall see this year. I don't think they're going to do it this year, but we shall see. Um, Another thing about confidence versus cocky. A confident person welcomes feedback, loves constructive criticism, will definitely take it, will cut and paste things out of it, and work. And I'm going to say I was confident in doing this venture as far as spreading this word out, the road of wisdom, and how it came to be. I sent out to several people that I trust, several people that watch the videos, and I asked for constructive criticism. Hey, what I need to do, what I need to do. One of my buddies this week said, "Look, man, you might need to change the name. Comment chat's a little bit confusing. You might want to change the name if you're going to focus and redirect on that." So I came up with this last couple of days with this new name, the Road to Wisdom. My mother would say another thing about maybe at the end you don't want to say peace, so that's a little bit that could be perceived as urban or a bit too streety or whatever the case may be. And I said, okay, I'm gonna change that. So and then my sister came with something. Maybe you should change this. Maybe you should do this. And other people said maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. Everything that someone has told me, I've tried to improve upon. One guy said, look, don't go into the spiel about saying please subscribe, please show that thing, please hit the like button, please do this. Don't tell me what to do it, because if I like the product, if I like the content, I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway. I said, I think I'll stop doing that. So that's why I do it at the end. Sometimes I don't do it at all, and I don't go through the whole spiel with that, because I'm trying to improve upon this product. I want this to be the best possible content I can give. So I can only do that with constructive criticism, because you're out there watching. You know what you want to watch. You tell me what you want to do, and if it's something that I can do and it's something that makes sense, then I'm going to do that. That's what a confident person does. They accept constructive feedback. A cocky person hates criticism. They think it's unfair. Why are you picking on me? What I'm doing is good enough. If you don't like it, don't watch it. How many times have you heard that? If you don't like what I'm selling, don't buy it. If you don't like what I'm watching, doing, don't watch it. I used to say it sometimes. I say, hey, if you don't like it, there's the door. But sometimes that can be perceived. Sometimes it can project as being cocky. But most times, cocky people do that. If you try to tell them something, they get upset, they get mad, think you're picking on them, think it's unfair. Well, why you hate on me? You're just a hater. You're just a hater. No, I'm not a hater. I'm trying to give you constructive criticism to improve your product. Because if I don't like it, I'm not going to buy it. That's point blank. No one can make me spend my money. No one can make you spend your money. If you don't like it, if you don't believe in it, if the person is not connecting with you, you're not going to buy it. So if you don't want to accept someone's constructive criticism, then a lot of times that is a characteristic of someone that is cocky. Not always, but a lot of times. A person that is confident will challenge themselves, will always challenge themselves to get better, will try to put themselves in. Like I said, in order for growth, and sometimes in order to grow, you have to put yourself in an unsafe, no, that's the word I'll use. You have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position, an uncomfortable scenario, an uncomfortable set of circumstances that you don't control, that you're not comfortable in, and that's when you'll thrive. And God does it a lot to us. A lot of times He puts us in situations where you think we're not equipped to handle it, but if we sit down, we pray, we focus on it, and we try to intelligently and try to what's the word I'm looking for? Spot uses it all the time. Logically try and figure out something. Try to figure out how the knots connect. We can be very successful. But at first, you're going to have that uncomfortable moment. At first, you're not going to know what to do. But that is a challenge. A person with confidence will accept that challenge and try to tackle and meet that challenge head on with confidence and with intelligence. That is a characteristic of someone that's confident. A person that is cocky don't want to put themselves in no position that they may be unsuccessful. If they're not completely comfortable with that situation, they want no part of it. No, I'm not doing that, because that's going to hurt my points. That's going to hurt my views. That's going to hurt my this. That's going to hurt my salary. That's going to hurt this. That's going to hurt that. They're going to always shy away from something that they might be unsuccessful in, and they're never going to grow, because they just want to do what was paying the bills. They don't want to deviate. They don't want to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. Well, sometimes figuratively you can't reinvent the wheel, but sometimes metaphorically you have to reinvent the wheel. You have to step outside, think outside of the box in order to be successful. A cocky person don't want to do that. Whatever's working, they don't want to. They don't want to veer off from that mold at all. No, we stand on this. This right here is getting me 100 million views. This get me $100,000. This is getting me my contract. I ain't trying to veer off of nothing. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm staying in my comfort zone. That is a cocky person. Um, Last thing, a confident person focuses on team success. They want the team to succeed. They want. Some people don't like it, but Tom Brady, he wanted his team to succeed when he was with the New England Patriots. So he took a lot less money than a lot of other top tier quarterbacks, and he's considered a GOAT by many. I know not by you, Chris Knight, but I know by many people he's considered a GOAT. And how he won so many championships, how he got so good is that he had a team concept. He took less money so other team members could get paid and stay there, and they built a dynasty. Aaron Rodgers is doing that same thing this year, the bad man, who I think is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. That's for you, Anzo. I think he is one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and he took $35 million less to try to have more money for his team because he wants to try and win another Super Bowl. He's thinking more about the team than himself. And Aaron Rodgers has been considered to be cocky more than confident. I think a little bit of both. I think it's a healthy amount of both. You gotta have to be good in sports, to be good in some professions. You have to have a little bit of cockiness to you, not too much cockiness that is arrogance and it rubs people the wrong way. But you gotta have that little bit of spunk to you. I think that is needed and wanted. But a truly cocky person thinks about the individual success. They don't care. Some people say Russell Westbrook is more of an individualist. He doesn't care about the team because he's won the back-to-back, I think 3 or 4 times, the triple-double. He's done this. He's won the MVP. He has a lot of individual accolades, but he doesn't have team accolades. Never won a championship. He may be, and some people say he is the most athletic point guard of all time. One thing I can say about Russell Westbrook, he does not cheat the game. When he's on that floor, he's giving you 150%, not 100%, 150%. He's going all out. Now, is he going to turn over about 10 times? Probably will. Is he going to blow some shots? Does he need to work on his game? He does. He's dependent on his athleticism. And soon as Father Time starts touching his shoulder, we're going to see that. But that is one of the differences that, like I just told you, I'll give you several examples of people that are confident versus people that are cocky. A lot of times there's some preachers you go in there and they have a lot of confidence, but they just can't attract, and they're looking for other things like mega churches and stuff. Sometimes they get some success, but they only stay on that one particular topic that people like. That's bringing them the congregation. That's getting the tithes paid in. That's providing them with their nice suits. Providing them with their big salaries. Providing them with their 2 or 3 houses, providing them with their lifestyle, because they're only teaching about prosperity. They're not teaching the whole gamut. They want to stay away from homosexuality or different lifestyles. They want to stay away from thievery. They want to stay away from stuff that are taboo in society, and only stay on the good stuff. Like I said, the Bible has equal amount of good and bad. So you gotta cover that whole gamut. You just can't stay on one aspect of it. There's several different ways. I'm going to go over several ways that you can build or develop character. Correction. You can build and develop confidence. The first thing is highlight your past successes. Don't just stay back there and just live on the glory days, but things that you're successful in, you make sure you write them down on your success board or whatever, and remember and go back and go over in your mind the things that you did that made you successful, that made that particular mission successful, that made that operation successful, that made whatever that church seminar you went to successful, that made that trip successful, that made a successful night or successful marriage. Write and go over all those things and keep refreshing and rehashing them, because as long as you keep the things that are going successful and keep repeating those, then that is a good way to develop confidence. Use your strengths. Anything that you're strong in. Some people that are strong have different gifts. I have one buddy. He is a forensic artist, fantastic artist and stuff. He can draw. You can tell him things, and he can sit down and he can draw composites, and that's one of his strengths. Also, he's a DV investigator, and he is very compassionate. He's very about that, and he's took the time to study his craft, to study his skill set, and he knows the DV laws backwards and forwards. So does one of my victim advocates. Those two people together make a fantastic team, and they're one of the better parts of the place that I work at. And I think a lot of those people, they take the time, they go the extra mile. Their strengths are communication. They work off each other very well. One time I was their supervisor, and I liked the synergy that we had, the camaraderie that we had. We still have it, but it's a little different now because I'm over a different division. But those teams, and now we got 2 more people involved in there that get to that level. And I think once all 4 of those individuals click, that's going to be a unit that's going to be very hard to beat, that I would put up against any unit in the state of South Carolina. You got to study and research your class. Study and research your craft. Just if you want something, I was a DV investigator years back, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to focus my energy on just one particular aspect of the law, domestic violence. When I was a domestic violence investigator, I knew it backwards and forward. I still know it now. I keep on top of it. I always try to learn. I didn't want to be an investigator that had to go through property crimes or blue collar crimes, white collar crimes, petty larceny, petty crimes, automobile crimes, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to focus my attention on one aspect of law enforcement, which was domestic violence, because South Carolina for a long time was in the top 5. I think we finally got the top 5, but for a long time we were in the top 5 of all the states in the United States of domestic violence, and that was something that was near and dear to me, and I wanted to try to be as educated and as develop my skill set as much as humanly possible. So when it does happen, I would know what to do and help these victims that's involved in that. So if it's something that you want to do, if as far as want to be a pastor, and this particular thing I'm doing right now is a lot of studying behind, a lot of research. Because I don't want to come on here. I want to give you my opinion, but I also want to have that opinion based on reality and based on facts, based on things that I give to you, things that I regurgitate to you, or things that I've read, notes that I've made. You can see right here, my notes right here. I keep notes on every particular show that I do, and I make sure that I use them as key points to make sure I stay on track, and I try to research. I talk to different pastors, talk to my dad who's a pastor, and talk to people that have a direct correlation or direct influence on a particular subject that I'm having. And so I make sure the information that I give you is not only opinion based, also it is based on fact as well. So like I said, to build confidence, make sure that is one of the things you do. Research and study. Another thing is develop your mental skills. Be mentally tough, which I think I am, and be positive. It took me a while to work on the second one, positive, because for a lot of times sometimes I could see myself being as negative Ned. And now, like I said, I am Mr. Glass is half full. I'm seeing things from a positive way. I'm trying to always say, see the other person's point of view. I think I did a show on that a few weeks back, probably a few months back now, in the other man's shoes. Always put yourself in the other man's shoes whenever there's some kind of problem or issue. And once you can put yourself in the other man's shoes and see their point of view, that is a direct correlation to boosting up your confidence, because then you'll be able to kind of empathize and be able to realize that, look, hey, if I was in that same predicament, I might do the same thing. So just make sure that's one of the steps to increasing your confidence. Preparation. Like I said, you can never prepare enough. You want to make sure that when you do something, that when you present stuff, when you're on a platform like this, that the information that you give is not only believable, but also that it's correct. I know that from time to time, things may be said incorrectly but it's not intentionally. I think for me, I can't speak for any other YouTuber, any other content creator. But if I tell you something wrong, it is something that I've read, or maybe I misunderstood it or something. And if I know that it is something wrong, I would definitely try to correct it as soon as possible. Or if you tell me something is wrong, I'll research it. I do a lot of research with biblical stuff. I read the Bible. I try to read the Bible every day. I read the Bible 2 hours this morning working on upcoming videos. I talked to my dad about an hour. I talked to my pastor briefly this afternoon. So things that's doing the biblical aspect of my shows, I try to research with people that I am confident in. Yeah, see, I use that confidence. That I'm confident in, and make sure that the information I'm giving you is correct. So make sure you prepare. Just can't jump in here. On my first few shows, as you can see now, I think there's a progression in my shows. Excuse me. A little bit of water. Because I thought I could just pull stuff out of my head and just talk. No, sometimes you can see in some of my shows I drew blanks. Don't do that so much now because I prepare. Before I did this, I read over my notes, read a couple of things, refreshed my memory, went in my mind, see how I was going to do it, and now my shows I think are much better. It goes to number 6 part of this of increasing or building or developing confidence. Visualization. See it in your mind. Now, a lot of times I don't do this, but I'm starting to do this now. I'm seeing in my mind before this happened. Kind of like if you watch Denzel Washington on, what's the name of that movie he's doing now? This is his third movie. It is The Equalizer. Before he could really take you out, The Equalizer is one of my favorite movies. I know it's violent, but I love it. And he sees, he'll put his one watch 19 seconds. But he sees what moves he's going to do before he makes them. He can see him picking the glass and hitting this person, or taking a knife and cutting this person and taking a gun, angle. Like he'll play it all out in his mind. And then in real time, he does it just like he visualized. Also, if you watch Robert Downey Jr. when he played, what's the British? Holmes Watson. God, what's his name? Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes, he did it a lot. He would see a fighter, he would see something, he would walk through in his mind, he would visualize how it's going to do, and then when real time hit, it was almost just like he visualized it. Visualization is a tool that a lot of successful people use, and once you can master that visualization, it will increase and improve your confidence. And last thing is manage your mental game. If things don't go right, if there's something that's out of the blue, and there's something that unexpected happens, you can't just go to pieces. You have to be able to control it, be able to, okay, see this, make the appropriate adjustments, be cool as a cucumber. Don't crack under pressure. Never let them see you sweat. All those little things you want to say, whatever applies, apply it. But make sure your mental game, keep it up. There are going to be things, there are going to be mistakes that are made, but you can't just let the mistake made. Especially, I use a lot of football terminology. Quarterback makes a bad pass or quarterback makes an interception, you can't harp on that interception, especially if it's in the early part of the game. Now, if it's a game-winning, a game-losing interception, then that's one thing you can harp on. But if it's something that happens in the second quarter, you still got 2 more quarters. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you're down by another touchdown, or it's a pick six, whatever the case may be, but you can't dwell on that. You just got to go ahead and keep it going.
Can I get on Fortnite?
Keep it going, and just make sure your mental game is up to par. So, those are my 2 cents on the word confidence. I hope that what I said resonated with you, and that you will definitely take what I said. And I hope that what I said, you be like, Danny, you made some pretty good points. I'm going to check on that. I'm going to try and use some of this stuff to improve my confidence. And like I said, I definitely hope if this is your first time ever seeing me that you please subscribe to this channel. Please give me that thumbs up, hit the like button. Also, please, I draw a blank again. Let me try it one more time. Here we go. If it's your first time ever seeing my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell. I don't want you to miss any material that I upload in the future. Also, hit the like button. Also, leave me a comment, because all your comments that you leave, I definitely read. And last but not least, please watch my video in its entirety, from the start to the finish, to the beginning to the end. And I will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow's word will be contribute. Contribute. How can you contribute to society? Because we definitely need contributions from everybody. So I'll be back same bat time, same bat channel, which is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel. So I want you to stay blessed. And as always, peace be with you all.